Good morning. Sorry I haven't done much lately. Just been too cold, really. Anyway, I've had a few acquisitions lately that I've purchased. This is not one of them. This relates to a new purchase. Anyway, this is R56, which is the Triang the transcontinental Pacific, made by Triang. Was it? I think the first one of these came out in 1954. It was the one with the version with the Hiawatha molded onto the front of the loco rather than onto the front bogey. And it was needed the acetate plastic, which warped over time. They are not much good for models, but all they had back in the day, I suppose. Anyway, this one probably dates, it's got the clear spokes, so it probably dates later towards the 1960 manufacturing era. So the Trainset, this came in a Trainset, it was RS15, came out in 1960. It sold well, very well actually, around the world, and it contained 4 freight cars, which were R136, R129, R126 and R115. And then it was reissued in 1962 with the Hiawatha nameplate on the front left of the boiler. I have one of those. It's upstairs. I was going to get it out, but no need really. It's just this locomotive with Hiawatha written on it. And yeah, it was then reissued again in 1964 as the Indian freighter set, and that was withdrawn in 1965. Anyway, what I've got to show you today though is the one that was issued in 1971. The same loco, but a different tender and different number, 1542. Now this one was manufactured with the Australian market generally in mind. The tender was more in keeping with the design of Australian locomotives at the time, whereas the original tender was more North American looking design, not really typical for what you'd see out here. So anyway, no white stripe, no bells and whistles. Well, actually there's brass. They've still got the brass whistle and the bell there on the top of the boiler there, near the generator there at the front of the cabin. And it come with a chuff tender, which unfortunately I can't run, so I had to swap them around. This was my original tender that I had, and yeah, I've had to swap it because, as you can see here, there's a fitting on the front that is not in keeping with the original hookup for the tender, so I didn't want to damage. I need to break away a little bit of plastic if I'm going to use this tender on this bogey, or the body of the tender, because yeah, they were designed differently. Where the hook actually comes out from underneath the body of the of the tender, and it had a slot there, but I don't want to damage this one because it's been a difficult find. I've had that body there for quite a while, and I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting until I finally got a tender. And yeah, one finally came up on eBay, believe it or not, and for the princely sum of $50 Australian, which yeah, it's over the odds, I know, but it's just, they're a bit like hen's teeth, aren't they? Anyhow, I might leave it as a double and give her a run, but before I do, I'll just show you what you got in the train set. So there we go, you get this cattle wagon, which is just your basic Triang transcontinental design there. Then we have the fuel wagon. Now, the Australian version didn't have the Freightliner's limited containers that actually had ACA. Now I do have that somewhere, but I can't find it, and not yet anyway, but I will find it. It's just I haven't unpacked half the stuff that I packed up after the cyclone earlier this year, so I'm still unboxing stuff, but I'll find it. And then yeah, this is not the correct firewood wagon either. It's just been the load off the correct wagon has just been glued onto a flat wagon, but I do have that original wagon as well. It's somewhere in a box again. I'll find it and I'll get it. I'll give it a run one day. And then it also came with a 20-ton brake. So anywho, I'll just give her a bit of a run, see how we go. Point the camera around so we can see you go. Pick the camera up. Really give it some juice now. Runs really well. There we go. And here we are. An old 1971, kind of like what you got. Actually, this was issued during the Triang Hornby era of Triang, when Triang had just well, it was after the acquisition of Hornby Double, and they would have been Triang would have just about been on the verge of going bust again anyway. So yeah, it was an interesting time for the model railways. Model railway companies kept going broke. And, anyway, Hornby's still here, still breathing. And there's still a few companies surviving, new ones are rising. So hobby's in pretty good shape, I'd think. Anywho, I'll leave it with you. I've got some other stuff I want to show you too. Bought a stack of locos, so I'll get into that too. I'll see you later.